Columbia loses 2024 national championship to South Carolina. The Gamecocks continue their perfect season with a victory over Caitlin Clark of Iowa. In collegiate women's basketball, South Carolina is once again at the top. On Sunday afternoon, the Gamecocks beat Iowa 87-75 in the national championship game, ending their flawless season. After losing only one game all season in 2016, the Gamecocks became the first school in school history to win 3 titles in a row. Thanks to a historic performance by Caitlin Clark, the Hawkeyes jumped out to an early 7-0 lead and dominated the entire first quarter. In the course of becoming the all-time leading scorer in NCAA tournament history, she broke Shamik Holdsclaw's record for most points scored in a quarter with 18 points in the women's championship game. As a matter of fact, the Gamecocks rallied quickly and regained the lead before halftime. A dominant first-half performance set the tone for the remainder of the match. The Hawkeyes couldn't handle them due to their height and quickness, but the game-changer from previous year was their shooting. Freshman Tessa Johnson had a huge impact with 19 points in the paint, and Camila Cardoso was the most outstanding player of the Final Four with 15 points and 17 rebounds. South Carolina had a 51-29 advantage in team rebounds and a 48-32 advantage in points scored in the paint compared to Iowa. South Carolina 87, Iowa 75 in the final. In women's basketball, the Gamecocks have regained their former glory. They won their 3rd championship in school history and became the first champions to go unbeaten since UConn in 2016. With 48 points in the paint, 18 offensive rebounds, and 30 points on second-chance opportunities, they were just too much for the Hawkeyes. Additionally, they made twice as many three-pointers as they did in last season's game, an enormous improvement. Nearing completion in South Carolina. There are under 2 minutes left in the game, and the Gamecocks are closing in on the championship with an 8-point lead. Given how quickly the Gamecocks are scoring, Iowa doesn't have much time to mount a comeback. The Hawkeyes will require a slew of stops and touchdowns in this game. Iowa is here to stay. With under 5 minutes remaining, the Hawkeyes have scored 6 points thanks to a combination of defensive stops and three-pointers. It looked like this game was about to explode. Even though they're down to their last game, the Gamecocks are still in control. Quarterfinal score, South Carolina 68, Iowa 59. The third quarter was a whole Gamecocks performance, with the exception of a brief intermission. They took a 9-point advantage into halftime thanks to an 8-4-13 shooting performance, including 5-4-8 from beyond the arc. When up against a team with such a huge disparity in athleticism and talent, Iowa's 3-point shooting performance in the third quarter, 1 of 9, is clearly unacceptable. Results are starting to show for South Carolina's shooting. This time around, the Gamecocks have made 8 three-pointers, compared to last year's matchup when they were 4 for 20. The Gamecocks have a double-digit lead because the Hawkeyes haven't made as many as that today. Iowa finds its footing. Gabby Marshall made a crucial three-pointer for the Hawkeyes, and in transition, Caitlin Clark set up Hannah Stolka for a layup that extended the lead to 4 points. Even though they're behind, those 2 minutes were crucial in putting an end to the Gamecocks' runaway victory.